Jared Carter walked in his front door and told his wife Lydia he'd found a new religion. At first, she thought he was delusional, but quickly had a change of heart and encouraged him to investigate further. After reading the Book of Mormon, he proclaimed, "I became immediately convinced that it was a revelation of God. It had such an influence on my mind that I had no mind to pursue my business." Lydia soon believed as well, and both were baptized on February 20th, 1831 by Hiram Smith. Jared testified, "I felt the influence of the Spirit of God, for as I stepped out of the water, I was wrapped in the Spirit, both soul and body, even so that the chill of the cold water was taken from me." As he excitedly shared his new faith with his neighbors and friends in Chenango, New York, he was surprised at their reaction. They got angry. Terribly disappointed, Jared and Lydia left their supposed friends and moved with the Colesville Saints to Kirtland, Ohio. Later, walking into a church conference in Kirtland, Jared is shocked and amazed to find his brother Simeon, whom he hadn't seen in 8 years, had also joined the church. What? 3 states apart, and with a church of less than 1,500 members, these two brothers had both found the truth independently of each other. What a miracle! Now, Jared's brother Simeon was crucial for the church in Amherst, Ohio. Remember that Parley P. Pratt had left a Book of Mormon with Simeon before Parley was escorted out of town by a police officer and his dog Stewboy. Yeah, watch the church doubles video to see that funny story. Well, Simeon and many of his extended family were baptized after reading the book. Jared's totally stoked to discover that besides Simeon, his older brothers Gideon and John and their families had also joined the church. Talk about an amazing family reunion. Together, they built up a very strong branch of the church in Amherst. In section 79, the Lord promises Jared, the Comforter, which shall teach you the truth and show the way whither you shall go. This gift helps him become an amazing missionary, baptizing large groups of people in many cities. In her own words, Lucy Mack Smith relates one of Jared's amazing mission stories.
In June 1831, 4 missionaries, including my son Hiram, were called to preach the gospel. As Hiram was directed to Detroit, I thought it would be a good opportunity to visit the family of my brother, General Mack. We visited with many of my relatives and shared the truth of the gospel with them. One day, my niece and nephew introduced me to Mr. Ruggles, the pastor of the local Presbyterian church. He mockingly said that the Book of Mormon was beneath his notice and called my son, the prophet, a poor, silly, foolish boy. Well, the Spirit of God fell upon me, and I looked him in the eye and prophesied, "Mr. Ruggles, mark my words, as true as God lives, before 3 years we will have more than 1/3 of your church. And whether you believe it or not, we will take the very deacon too." After returning home to Kirtland, I basically told my son Joseph, I made a prophecy and I need your help to see that it is fulfilled. So, calling upon one of the best missionaries, he dispatched Brother Jared Carter. Jared traveled to Detroit, went immediately into the midst of Mr. Ruggles' church, and in a short time brought away 70 of his best members, among whom was the deacon too, just as I had told the minister.
And now for something completely different. Doctrine and Covenants section 77 is an amazing section because it's a Q&A between the prophet and the Lord. Joseph had a ton of questions about the book of Revelation in the Bible, and the Lord provides answers. As you know, the book of Revelation from the Apostle John is full of really interesting concepts and images and an amazing vision about the end of the world. Joseph wanted to know what it meant, so he asked some questions. For example, Joseph asked about the 4 beasts that are shown in the presence of God. The Lord explained that they represent 4 classes of beings: man, beasts, creeping things, and fowls. And the spirit of each being looks like their bodies. Okay, cool. President Joseph Fielding Smith further explained, every creature has a spirit and existed in the spirit before it was on the earth. They're entitled to the resurrection and shall live again. There'll be beasts of various kinds in each of the kingdoms in the eternities. The animals and all living creatures shall be given knowledge and enjoy happiness. Nice. So although we don't completely understand what happens to animals after they die, we believe that they'll enjoy some kind of salvation and immortality. Maybe you'll see your old pets again. Joseph also asked about a book with 7 seals. No, not those seals. And the book in the vision actually looked more like this, a scroll sealed with 7 seals. Joseph is taught that this book contains the actual history of the world, including the Father's plan. Each seal represents what'll happen during 1,000-year increments of the world's history. Summed up, basically it says God wins and Satan loses. Isn't it comforting to know that God's already revealed what will happen? It's written down, and there'll be no surprises for him or us as we study his words, ask questions, and listen for his answers in prayer. Finally, in section 78, the Lord gives us a wonderful promise filled with hope and encouragement. Because we don't yet know all the great blessings that Heavenly Father's prepared for us, he lovingly calls us little children. Yes, I am a child of God, and so are you. And he's promised he will lead us, guide us, walk beside us, and help us find the way, so we may live with him someday. In the meantime, he encourages us to be of good cheer and receive all things with thankfulness. In our next video, we'll learn what happens when fake news starts to spread.